Unconscious and alone, Shen Yue found after overnight fall from balcony. Where was Dylan Wang? It was supposed to be a calm night in the heart of Shanghai, just another glamorous evening after a long day on set. But what happened between the hours of 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. would leave the entire entertainment industry in absolute chaos. As the city lights dimmed and fans drifted into peaceful sleep, the soft sound of an ambulance siren slicing through the silence told a completely different story. By sunrise, the headlines exploded with one name and one question. Shen Yue. And where was Dylan Wang? According to early reports, Shen Yue was discovered lying unconscious in the garden area of a luxury high-rise apartment where she had been staying temporarily during filming. She had apparently fallen from a private balcony on the third floor. Her body was found by a groundskeeper making his early morning rounds at approximately 4:07 a.m. She was barefoot, wearing only a silk robe, her hair tangled and wet from dew. No one had seen her fall. No one had heard her scream. No one knew how long she had been lying there alone. The shocking part? That balcony belonged to Dylan Wang's apartment. As paramedics worked silently, delicately lifting the actress into the emergency vehicle, paparazzi began arriving on the scene, alerted by a strange anonymous tip. In a matter of minutes, cameras were flashing and questions were flying. But the one person no one could find in the middle of all the chaos was Dylan Wang himself. Witnesses say Dylan's black luxury car had been seen leaving the parking garage hours earlier, around 1:15 a.m. He was alone. He appeared tense. But he never returned. By 5 a.m., his phone was off. By 6 a.m., his team had issued a confusing statement saying Dylan was resting and had no involvement in any emergency situation. It only fueled more speculation. Shen Yue had been filming an emotionally intense drama with Dylan in recent weeks. On set, insiders claimed things had become tense between them. They had chemistry, but something snapped, said a production assistant who wished to remain unnamed. Last week they were arguing constantly. The director had to shut down the set for 2 hours because Shen Yue was crying so hard she couldn't continue filming. Days later, she moved into the private apartment Dylan's agency had arranged. It was said to be a quiet space for her to rest and recover. The only thing no one mentioned was that the same apartment was already being used by Dylan during off days. According to building staff, they had been spotted entering and leaving at different times, sometimes not speaking to each other at all. Something strange was clearly brewing behind closed doors. Security footage from the building reportedly showed Shen Yue alone on the balcony around 12:54 a.m. She appeared to be pacing. She looked distressed. At one point she reached for her phone, then tossed it aside. And then, suddenly, she vanished from the frame. What happened in those few seconds no one can confirm yet. Even more bizarre, Dylan Wang's car was shown pulling out of the underground parking barely 20 minutes later. Was he aware something had happened? Had he left after seeing her fall? Or had he been gone the entire time? By mid-morning, Shen Yue had regained consciousness briefly at the hospital. Doctors confirmed she had suffered a mild concussion, a fractured wrist, and deep bruising along her ribs. But what alarmed many was her whispered first words to the nurse on duty. "Where is he?" she asked weakly, her eyes fluttering open. She said it twice. Then she fell back into silence. Her parents, who flew in from Hune immediately after hearing the news, refused to comment on her condition. They only released a brief statement asking for privacy and prayers. Shen Yue's manager broke down in tears while being interviewed at the hospital entrance. She was supposed to be safe, she said quietly. She trusted him. As for Dylan Wang, hours passed without any direct response. Then, at exactly 2 p.m., his agency posted a carefully worded update on social media. Mr. Dylan Wang is currently cooperating fully with authorities regarding the unfortunate incident involving Miss Shen Yue. He has expressed deep concern and is awaiting medical updates before making any personal statement. But fans were not satisfied. Hashtags began trending almost immediately. Where was Dylan shot to the top of the trending list in less than 15 minutes. Theories flooded in. Some believed he had left after a fight. Others were convinced it was a tragic accident that he knew nothing about. And some even speculated that he had tried to help, only to panic and flee. Back at the hospital, Shen Yue remained under close watch. According to a nurse working on the same floor, she appeared deeply shaken. She hasn't spoken much since that first whisper, the nurse said. But she keeps staring out the window. It's like she's waiting for someone. As news spread, several celebrities reached out publicly to support her. Yang Zi posted a heartfelt message calling Shen Yue a fighter with the softest heart. Victoria Song urged fans to be gentle and patient. Even Bai Jingting, with whom she had once been romantically linked, posted a cryptic line, "Some falls are louder than they sound." But the silence from Dylan Wang remained deafening. Then, late in the evening, just as the sun began to set again over the city, a black car was spotted pulling into the hospital's private entrance. Dylan Wang stepped out, wearing a cap low over his eyes and a long coat. He walked in without speaking to anyone. Sources say he spent less than 15 minutes inside. No one knows if Shen Yue saw him. No one knows if he said anything. But he left just as quickly as he came. Outside, reporters shouted questions. Did you push her? Were you with her when she fell? Are you in love with her? He said nothing. As of now, investigators are still reviewing camera footage and phone records. Shen Yue's condition has stabilized, but she remains under observation. Her team has not confirmed whether she will return to filming anytime soon. And Dylan Wang's next appearance has been postponed indefinitely. But fans and industry insiders alike are holding their breath. Because behind the dazzling curtain of stardom, one thing has become crystal clear. Someone fell that night. But it may not have been just from a balcony. It may have been from trust. From love. From something far more dangerous than gravity. And until the truth comes out, everyone is asking the same question. Where was Dylan Wang? Vanished for 27 hours, Dylan Wang's mysterious absence fuels conspiracy after Shen Yue's fall. The sun had already risen again over Shanghai. But even after daylight returned, the shadows surrounding Shen Yue's terrifying fall from Dylan Wang's balcony only grew darker. While the actress lay unconscious for hours, the man whose apartment she was found beneath remained missing from the public eye. Now, the truth behind Dylan Wang's 27-hour disappearance is emerging, and it's more shocking than anyone could have imagined. The vanishing act that changed everything. From the moment news broke of Shen Yue's fall, fans and insiders alike were stunned not just by her accident, but by Dylan's silence. He was seen leaving the apartment complex shortly after 1 a.m. He did not return until after 4 a.m. the next day. In that critical window, not a single person could confirm where he was. Calls to his phone went unanswered. His staff claimed he was resting in a safe location. But that vague statement only enraged the public more. How could he be resting while the woman he had spent weeks filming emotional scenes with was lying unconscious beneath his own balcony? Then the first piece of damning information slipped out. According to a security guard who spoke under anonymity, Dylan Wang never left the city. His car was tracked via license plate recognition entering a gated estate on the outskirts of Shanghai. The property, a private villa reportedly rented by a high-profile producer with known connections to Dylan's management company. Surveillance was mysteriously blacked out for the entire day. What was he doing there? And more importantly, why had he gone there just minutes after Shen Yue's tragic fall? The security footage everyone's talking about. Multiple sources close to the investigation have confirmed that security cameras caught Shen Yue reaching for Dylan's hand during an argument on the balcony just before her fall. The footage, now under review by authorities, has not been released to the public, but its contents have caused deep internal divisions between their agencies. A staff member who saw the recording described it as devastating. They were arguing. You can't hear what was said, but you can see the tension. She reached out to him like she was pleading. He stepped back. And then, she fell. Was it an accident? A desperate cry for help? Or something far worse? Hidden messages and a deleted text. Even more chilling is what happened to Shen Yue's phone. When authorities recovered it from the garden, it was damaged, but not beyond repair. Forensic techs retrieved the last text she typed, a message that was never sent. It read, "If something happens to me, ask Dylan why he left." Shortly after that, the screen went dark. To make matters worse, An insider claims that Dylan's phone had been wiped clean. There were no messages between him and Shen Yue from the past 2 days, the source said. That's impossible. They were working together every day. Why were the messages erased? Who erased them? And what exactly was he trying to hide? Fans divided, industry silent. As the scandal deepens, the reaction online has become more volatile than ever. Some fans remain loyal to Dylan, defending him passionately. They believe Shen Yue's fall was an accident and that Dylan is simply overwhelmed. Others are furious. Hashtags like #Shen Yue deserves justice and #Where was Dylan 27 hours have flooded social media. Several bloggers have even called for a boycott of his upcoming projects. Yet the entertainment industry itself has remained mostly silent. That silence cracked, however, when a veteran actress rumored to be a mentor to Shen Yue shared a cryptic message on her private account. The more power you have, the easier it is to walk away from pain you caused. It was deleted minutes later, but screenshots were already being circulated. Even more damning was the removal of Dylan and Shen Yue's drama teaser from the streaming platform's homepage. An insider claims the producers are now discussing postponing its release indefinitely. Shen Yue speaks. Barely. In the hospital, Shen Yue has spoken only a few words. But what she did say has left her team shattered. According to a nurse close to the family, Shen Yue whispered, "He knew I was on that balcony." She reportedly refused to see Dylan when he made his brief hospital visit. He entered through a back entrance, stayed for less than 15 minutes, and left without speaking to the media. Staff say her heart monitor spiked during his presence. She asked for him to leave. She then turned her face to the wall and cried softly. A toxic love nobody knew about. Now, whispers of a hidden romance are gaining traction. According to a former assistant on set, Dylan and Shen Yue had been in an off-the-record relationship for over a year. It was real. But it was also complicated. They kept breaking up and getting back together. It was emotional warfare. Rumors suggest that Dylan may have ended things just hours before the accident. One unconfirmed report claims Shen Yue received a call from his agent warning her to stay away for career reasons. That same night, she had wine delivered to the apartment. That same night, she was seen alone on the balcony, looking distraught. Is this the tragic unraveling of a toxic relationship? Or the beginning of an even darker story? The twisted turn ahead. As investigations continue, sources close to the authorities have hinted that Dylan may soon be summoned for formal questioning. A legal consultant revealed that if the footage shows negligence or knowledge of danger, he could face serious consequences. Even if he didn't push her, if he knew she was unstable and left her alone in that state, he could be in trouble, the consultant explained. Meanwhile, Shen Yue's fans are organizing vigils outside the hospital, holding up handwritten notes that read "We believe you and speak when you are ready." Inside those hospital walls, Shen Yue remains under tight security. Her team has restricted all visitors. She is said to be receiving trauma counseling. Her family has hired a private lawyer. As for Dylan Wang, his next move may define the rest of his career. Will he speak the truth? Or has the curtain already fallen on a romance that was never meant for the spotlight? One thing is certain, this is no longer just a celebrity scandal. It is a mystery that has shattered hearts, shaken reputations, and left millions asking the same question again and again. Why did he leave? And what really happened on that balcony? Stay tuned. The truth is just beginning to surface.